Hello everyone, my name is Thomas Kong and I'm a licensed architect and Deputy Head of Academic Studies in the Department of Architecture. The title of my talk today is Discovering NUS Architecture. I'd like to start by quoting science fiction writer William Gibson, who wrote, "The future is already here, it's just not evenly distributed." The 6 scenarios which I will share in the next few slides are already here, and they will have significant impact on how we design buildings, neighborhoods, and cities. For artists and designers, DALL-E and Midjourney change how we make art and the creation of architecture images and forms. As a result of climate change, the floods in our neighboring countries, and wild temperature swings around the world are becoming more frequent and have caused numerous losses in life, properties, and destruction of the ecosystem. And in Singapore, we know the aging society is upon us. It will therefore demand a different attitude towards old age and the need for more spaces that are inclusive and accessible for the elders. The pandemic has also changed how we live. Our homes became offices and schools, and even performance spaces during COVID-19. At the same time, we are paying more attention to our mental and physical wellness. And finally, designing cities that are compact and walkable are important to reduce our carbon footprint, for better health, and for an aging society. Now I'd like to introduce our architecture program and what you will learn to meet these challenges. To become an architect, you will first enroll in a 4-year Bachelor of Arts in Architecture program, and upon successful completion, you will proceed to the Master of Architecture. This is followed by at least 2 years of professional practice before taking the licensing exam. Given the demands and complexity of the architectural practice and profession, it usually takes more than 2 years. For me, I took around 4 years before I was successfully licensed as an architect. So as the profession is also diversifying, we created different pathways besides architecture. If you join us, you have an M.Arch in urban design as an option for students who like to combine architecture and urban design, or transfer to the 1-year Master of Arts in urban design, Master of Arts in Architectural Conservation, Master of Science in Integrated Sustainable Design, the 2-year Master of Urban Planning, or the Master of Landscape Architecture. The courses are broadly divided into Design, Technology, Urban, History, and Theory. Design consists of 6 design studio courses and 2 option studios in Year 4. Under Technology, you will learn how a building is put together and the technology that supports and enhances the building's performance. The Urban Basket looks at the design scale of neighborhoods and cities, while History and Theory equips you with historical and critical understanding of architecture and theoretical ideas. Besides the core modules, there are 2 baskets of courses called Unrestricted Electives and Common Courses. They help you to broaden or to go in-depth the knowledge from the core architectural courses. The unrestricted electives can also be curated to form a second major, minor, or specialization. The common courses provide a broad-based foundation for you to build and expand your architectural knowledge and skills. Here are some of the minors and majors that our students have taken the last academic year. It is very broad. They range from language to film, literature, public health, real estate, to geosciences. You can scan this QR code to see a wide variety of design projects from 1st year to 4th year of the BA Architecture program, and selections from the M.Arch thesis as well. You will also see how the topics of Design Studio address some of the futures that I've highlighted earlier. Recently, the college also set up NUS Cities, which aims to use the city as a platform to teach design skills to solve complex urban problems. And NUS CDEs will soon offer courses you can take to obtain a minor. So you might ask, I just want to become an architect. Why do I have to take all these other courses? I like to quote Bruce Mao, an interdisciplinary designer, and he said, "Design requires collective, interdisciplinary, and collaborative teams capable to understand the systemic dimensions of everyday objects and the interconnectivity between systems that support our way of living." Having practiced close to 20 years before teaching, I see this new mode of thinking and working and designing even more crucial. Let me show you an example. Healthcare 2030 was a design studio that architecture and industrial design students worked together to design a distributed healthcare system in Singapore in the year 2030. Again, you can scan this QR code to see the projects and watch the videos afterward. In this particular project, architecture students study the future of airports in a post-pandemic age. They also work very closely with industrial design students to identify stakeholders and the problems they face, set the goals, and outline the design process. They have also mapped the experiential journey of a patient and designed the care service delivery, including a prototype for telemedicine app. And the architecture students design a very progressive and beautiful new extension to the Changi Airport that can also double up as a hospital quarantine space and to boost the medical travel industry in Singapore. Now, such interdisciplinary thinking and designing is so very crucial for the future of architectural profession. AI for Design is another course that architectural, industrial design, and landscape architecture students take in their second year. They learn how to use different AI software for their design projects. The two images on the right show the well-known Golden Mile complex transformed by the student using a combination of prompts and parameters. As a comprehensive research university, the professors in the department come from different research and practice background. Here, for example, we have Prof. Jung-Joo, who is an expert on heat island effect and leads the NUS Urban Climate Design Lab. Professor Ong is a licensed architect and also an award-winning architect as well, who is a co-founder of the firm Lacquer Architects. And we have Prof. Chang, who leads the History, Theory, and Criticism Research Cluster. He has also authored several books on modern and tropical architecture in Singapore. Besides learning from our talented professors, you also have the chance to learn from our alums who have gone on to become very successful architecture and design practitioners. On the left, you see Kelly Chen, who runs her own brand and communications company. In the middle are architect Belinda Huang and her husband, architect Ku Ping Beng, who were the 2020 Designers of the Year, and Melanie Park, who went on to do her PhD and is currently working as a design strategist in Gensler, an American multidisciplinary design firm. If you join us, this is the SDE tree where you will be based for the next 4 to 5 years. This is a view of a typical studio space where you work. Our fabrication workshop is equipped with a range of digital and analog tools to help you to make your architectural models. And in addition, we just recently set up a materials library to complement the teaching of materials and construction course. Student exchange is a very popular course, and we have a large network of architecture schools from around the world that students can apply to. You can see on the slide, which is a small selection of the universities that we have connections with. And to support and recognize our students' creativity, hard work, and aspirations, we have over 20 awards, scholarships, and travel grants that eligible students can apply. The Architectural Society is a student-run organization. They have been very active in organizing social and profession-related activities for the students. This is a very important tradition of the department that goes back 44 years. Finally, I hope this short presentation gives you a brief idea about the architectural program in NUS. Please scan this QR code for more information about the open house activities, and thank you so much for your time.
Hi, my name is Clarabelle and I'm currently in the final year student from the Master of Architecture program, NUS. I'm driven by the passion for architectural design and artistry, finding fulfillment in the nuanced expression of human emotions through creative endeavors. So coming from a background in the arts at SOTA, I was drawn to the architecture program at NUS for its potential to foster holistic growth and empower me to address the issues close to my heart through design. I believe that architecture, much like fine arts, possesses a unique ability to articulate the essence of human existence and societal conditions. So this belief, coupled with my desire to think creatively and critically, led me to pursue architecture as a field of study. I'm deeply committed to leveraging the power of design to provoke thought, foster unity, and catalyze meaningful change. I view our curated works as mediums through which we can peel back the layers of our humanity, igniting dialogue and driving discovery. As I continue to develop my skills and expand my knowledge, I'm excited by the prospect of exploring diverse career paths within the realm of design thinking, and I'm eager to push my boundaries as an individual and contribute to positive transformation in society. So studying in CDE as an aspiring architect has been instrumental in broadening my perspectives and prompting a re-evaluation of the values inherent in design, both on an individual level and within the broader community of like-minded individuals. So engaging in rigorous exploration of unique societal issues alongside with my peers has not only tested my tenacity, but also reinforced our determination to effect meaningful change through design solutions. As a student in architecture program at NUS, I've had the privilege of participating in various enriching opportunities. Serving on the archival exhibition team has allowed me to showcase student work and engage with industry professionals through events such as talks and guided tours. Additionally, representing NUS as a speaker at SIA Young Architects League and collaborating with social enterprises to contribute ideas has been an humbling experience. Recently, I also had the opportunity to return to my alma mater, SOTA, to contribute to value-sensitive design initiatives. Witnessing the enthusiasm of young minds as they embrace the transformative power of design to shape spaces and relationships imbued with values has been truly inspiring. I believe that having mentors or role models to look up to is essential for success and personal growth in any field. Currently in the final semester of my Masters in Architecture program, I have been under the mentorship of Professor Thomas Kong. My fascination with the essence of human existence and our persistent quest to comprehend it through rituals has led me to embark on a thesis project of profound depth. My research delves into the intricate relationship between life, death, and the built environment, exploring how architecture serves as a medium for creating narratives that transcend the boundaries between the living and the departed. Central to this exploration is that examination of humanity's innate desire for permanence and the evolving role of technology in shaping our understanding of mortality. So challenging conventional notions of death, my thesis project envisions a digital afterlife where the decay of our physical bodies does not signify the end of our existence. It seeks to create a space where individuals can rewrite their stories and where their loved ones can engage with those narratives from their own perspective. So this envisioned future entails meticulously personalized and perpetually preserved memories and legacy, transcending the limitations of mortality. NUS Architecture offers a semester-long exchange program that has been a valuable opportunity for my personal and professional growth. My experience as an exchange student at Dong Hai University during my 4th year was truly transformative. Interacting with peers from diverse backgrounds and cultures exposed me to a multitude of perspectives and expanded my understanding of design on a global scale. Engaging with individuals from different parts of the world allowed me to recognize the boundless possibilities and potential inherent in the field of architecture beyond the confines of Singapore. Witnessing how their unique ways of life and cultural backgrounds influence their approach to design sparked my curiosity and deepened my appreciation for cultural diversity. Being a naturally curious individual, I'm always eager to learn and explore new environments and embrace different culture. In the previous year, I also had the privilege to participate in the regenerative workshop at the University of Navarra in Madrid as a part of my visiting school program. So the NUS Architecture program has also provided us with invaluable internship opportunities at renowned firms, offering a practical edge in the architectural practice. During my internship at DP Architects, I benefited greatly from the guidance and feedback provided by various team members, which facilitated my learning and professional development. So I had the opportunity to observe and actively participate in the whole entire process of crafting comprehensive client presentations, from narrative development to conceptual studies and design proposal. So this hands-on experience in conducting feasibility site studies for clients, I learned to propose urban interventions and economically driven approach by thoroughly understanding the site context and historical significance. So this has really deepened my understanding of the real-world applications of architectural principle. So to find out more, you can visit our website or scan the QR code, and look forward to seeing you in school soon.
Hello everyone, my name is Terrence and I'm the Program Director for the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture here in NUS. Today, I will share how we teach our students to design outdoor spaces that connect nature, place, and people. In this presentation, I will share about how landscape architecture is being taught in NUS, some admission requisites, opportunities upon graduation, some frequently asked questions, and how you can find out more about our program. Most people are familiar with the term architecture, which entails the design of buildings. But what is landscape architecture? I'm sure that you're aware of the increasing efforts around the world to preserve natural spaces, conserve resources, and protect the environment. Landscape architects play an important role in shaping urban and natural environments, considering ecological systems, cultural contexts, and human experiences. Our projects can span across multiple scales, from the design of parks and gardens to the planning of towns and cities, even informing infrastructure and urban development. The NUS Landscape Architecture Bachelor's degree is a multidisciplinary program that combines art, science, and environmental stewardship to create outdoor spaces that are not only aesthetically pleasing, but also sustainable and functional. The three key areas that underpin our BLA program is first, on the cultivation of socio-ecological sensitivities, evidence-based design with robust scientific knowledge, and a good grasp on technologies and techniques. This is a 4-year direct honours program. Students with relevant polytechnic diplomas can skip the first year. Upon graduation, students may seek accreditation with the Singapore Institute of Landscape Architects, or SILA, after 3 years of practice. Students may also opt to read their Master of Landscape Architecture here in NUS. The Master of Landscape Architecture program is a 2-year program, but graduates from the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture program here can skip the first year. In the 4 years of study here in NUS, students will have the opportunity to learn about various aspects of landscape architecture. In addition to designing spaces, students will gain exposure to landscape architecture and ecological theory, mapping and construction techniques. To gain practical experience, students can sign up for internships with landscape architecture firms. We have a close working relationship with SILA, an organization representing landscape architectural professionals in Singapore. Students can sign up for mentorship programs with SILA to know more about life as a practicing landscape architect. Now here in NUS, we strongly believe that students have the ability to excel and unleash their creativity when given the opportunity. Our approach is to curate the learning experience by connecting them with nature, place, and people. We believe in working hand in hand with the natural environment.
but the reality is that we are losing spaces due to urbanization. How then can we design and plan to preserve and to augment natural spaces? Courses touching on planting design and horticulture as well as ecology help students understand the framework and extent to which they can intervene as landscape architects. Landscape architects work on projects ranging from small gardens to large cities. There is tremendous variation in scale, and the corresponding approaches to describing and analyzing these spaces are different. Let me give you a quick example. If you wish to survey a small garden, maybe you'll use a measuring tape or even a drone. But to survey green spaces for the entire city-state of Singapore, you can't do that. Instead, we may opt for using satellite images. To understand the space, students are introduced to courses and skills such as map creation and analysis using GIS systems and construction techniques. Having considered the natural elements and spatial requirements, we do not forget that we are more often than not designing for people to use these spaces. We ensure that students have a good understanding for designing for people by emphasizing on researching into who actually uses the space, charting the socio-economic demographics of the areas of interest. Students will also be exposed to landscape architectural theories and histories to complement their design education. A key difference between conventional university programs consisting of lectures, tutorials, and maybe lab work, and design programs is that we have this special course called Design Studio every semester. In this course, students get to spend all their time working on their design. This is also where they hone their design skills. For the BLA program, we have carefully structured the Design Studio sequence to prepare students for a career in landscape architecture. In the first year, students will get to express themselves freely, explore and define what landscape means to them. They are taught to appreciate landscape elements and the basic concepts of space and scale. And they have to present their ideas with drawings and models. For many students, this is the first time they create something original, and you can imagine how exciting and nerve-wracking it can be. But it is a great way to hone your communication skills, thinking about what illustration to have on your panel and what to say to convince the reviewer that your idea makes sense. It is quite applicable to many aspects of work and life. In the second year, students will learn how to read an existing landscape and to explore how it can be improved. The site can be in NUS, along the Singapore River, or outside a row of shophouses. In this image, you can see that the student designed a space outside of an existing art school, reacting to the distinctive forms of the design. In the second semester, students will also work on a project that deals directly with residents of the area. Workshops and surveys will be conducted with the residents to understand how best to improve the landscape to suit their needs. In the third year, students are challenged to adopt digital tools to conceptualize, develop, and to produce their design. This is where things get really interesting, and we let students speculate on how the future can be like, with new tools for design and interaction such as AR and VR technologies, creating games for their designs to foster better interaction for users. In this year, students get to learn state-of-the-art software and tools to help them gain an advantage in new forms of landscape architectural expression. This also includes simulation works to help students understand the impact of their design intervention. In the fourth year, students get to travel. This is where students make use of their experience and skills acquired over the past 3 years to tackle more complex landscape issues at a larger scale. Now we understand that Singapore is a small island and quite well developed. So in the fourth year, we bring students out of Singapore to explore urgent issues plaguing major cities in the region. This includes looking into issues of flooding in big cities or marginalized communities in developing nations. The places we go varies every semester, depending on the design tutors, so we never go to the same place twice. Okay, so what do you need to know to apply to the landscape architecture program? Here are a few useful tips. Many potential candidates often wonder if landscape architecture is right for them. Since our approach to teaching is on connecting nature, place, and people, you need to be comfortable with these themes in general. It'll be great if you are an outdoors person, someone who is already interested in nature and environmental issues. You do not need to have skills in drawing or plants to sign up. The other key attribute is to be able to communicate your ideas well. This can be done visually or verbally. But either way, you are expected to stand in front of a crowd to express and defend your ideas. It gets easier over time, and it helps if you have a keen eye for things and are able to open to exploring new ideas. If you do apply for the program, chances are we will invite you for an interview and to submit your portfolio. This portfolio need not be on landscape or design. It can be anything that tells us more about you and your interest in the program, such as design, in nature, or the outdoor environment. Over the years, we have seen examples such as jewelry design, crochet work, henna work, poems, digital art, and photography. Please feel free to express yourself here. Here are the requisites for admission. For more information, do check out our website in NUS Department of Architecture. Now let me spend some time to talk about opportunities for our graduates. Once students graduate from the BLA program, they can start to practice as landscape architects. There is currently no professional licensing for landscape architects in Singapore. However, graduates are encouraged to pursue accredited landscape architect status. The NUS Bachelor of Landscape Architecture and Master of Landscape Architecture is not a licensed program, but it is a professional program that is recognized by the Singapore Institute of Landscape Architects. When you study in NUS, you are given a lot of flexibility to customize your degree. In addition to your primary major, which is landscape architecture, you can opt to read a second major, a minor, or a specialization. You can think about what can make you stand out in your career, or if you have a strong interest in a particular subject. During the semester, students can also go for student exchange programs, NUS overseas colleges, and summer programs. Upon graduation, students can also further their education by joining one of our master programs, such as the Master of Landscape Architecture program, which takes just 1 extra year. Of course, you may choose to join the landscape architecture profession. We also have students joining statutory boards such as NParks and URA. As you can see, there are plenty of opportunities here. And the reason is really because of how there is more emphasis on the environment and sustainability in everything we do these days. Resources are limited, and the urbanscape has to be better designed to protect its inhabitants. But simply acknowledging this fact is not enough. We need to be able to act on it. This program will prepare you to act on it and to make valuable contributions to improving our environment. We hope that you will consider joining us, and we will be happy to answer any questions you may have. Here are 2 commonly asked questions. Is drawing a requisite skill in order to be considered for admission? Not at all. Most of our current students have no formal art education. After all, this is a degree in landscape architecture, not fine arts. We also do a lot of digital drawing and compositing with Photoshop these days, so there is no issue. We provide workshops for students who are totally new to this so that they can pick up the skills at their own pace. What is the difference between landscape architecture and architecture? The first will be on the scale of our work. Architects work on buildings and landscape architects work on areas outside of buildings, from gardens to parks to townships to cities. The second point is on indoors and outdoors. Architects work on the facade and interior of buildings to the details of nuts and bolts, whereas landscape architects looks into the greenery, ecological systems, the climate of the area. Thirdly, architects work on buildings and the built environment, whereas landscape architects tend to work on the outdoors, green spaces, peri-urban areas, forested areas, and rivers. If you have any specific questions, please feel free to contact us directly. You can find us at the NUS Open House happening this coming Saturday. Or go to this website, ugl.sg. This is a blog where we share all our landscape architecture related activities. To see how life is like as a landscape architecture student in NUS, check out this post here. you'll see videos of what the students go through from years 1 to 4. We are also active on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. Our landscape architecture student body, the LAC, is also on TikTok. Thanks again, and hope to see you in our BLA program.
Hi everybody, I'm Azzah Atifah. I'm a Year 4 Landscape Architecture student here in NUS. I graduated from Singapore Polytechnic with a diploma in Landscape Architecture in 2020. I'm also an arts enthusiast, and I express my love for art through henna and dance. I chose Landscape Architecture as I enjoy having the creative freedom to design. And over time, I developed a deeper interest in conducting site analysis, relevant research, and ideating design strategies. So you must be curious why I chose NUS CDE. My first reason is because this is the only university in Singapore that offers my course of interest, landscape architecture. Secondly, it offers unique programs for undergraduates, such as the NUS Summer Program in Entrepreneurship and NOC, which is NUS Overseas Colleges. Last but not least, my other friends and seniors were in NUS, and it would be great to see familiar faces during my 3 years in university and have a sense of comfort and familiarity. Here are some modules that I took in Year 3 Semester 1. Particularly design and ecology. During my design module, I learned how to use Grasshopper, a 3D modeling software which can generate intricate structures and forms efficiently. With the help of my professor, who provided us weekly tutorials with detailed instructions and examples, it made my software learning journey meaningful. I thoroughly enjoyed my ecology module thanks to my passionate professor. His dynamic teaching style, deep knowledge, and real-world relevance made the subject engaging and exciting. They fostered a supportive environment that encouraged active participation and inspired me to implement ecological designs for my design studio module. As part of my professor's research, I was nominated to represent my course for a Kayabuki expedition in Kyoto. The objective was to learn of the sustainable practices of living with nature by analyzing the Kayabuki culture in Kyoto. Instead of learning in classrooms, we had hands-on experience with harvesting reeds for thatched houses, interacting with the locals, and learning about their culture. This one-week trip taught me lessons and values that I cherish a lot. If not for my CDE professor who initiated this expedition, I wouldn't have had the privilege to experience this journey. In Year 4 Semester 1, I participated in the NUS Overseas Colleges program. I worked for an app publishing startup in Paris for half a year as an App Store optimization intern. The company's objective is to partner with apps that has potential to grow in the App Store, and we aim to utilize our tech tools and creative content to boost their visibility in the App Store. This is where I harnessed my design skills in Photoshop, Illustrator, and Figma in order to produce new App Store screenshot designs, icons, paywalls, and more. During my time in NOC, I had the opportunity to network with international individuals through entrepreneurial events and even expand on my henna business. Here are some CCAs in NUS that I participated in. I was the marketing director for the Entrepreneurship Society, where I managed a team of 5 for weekly content curation and engagement on various social media platforms. And as mentioned, I love dancing, so I joined NUS Blast and Ilsa Tari. I enjoy running as well, so I joined track. And these CCAs are very diverse, and I'm glad that NUS was able to provide many options for me. It truly allowed me to develop my current skills and explore even more. Aside from my school and core curriculums, I am the founder of Henna Flair, which was established in 2016. I'm a self-taught henna artist who turned hobby into a side business. Fun fact, it happened because I was not satisfied with the Hari Raya henna design at the bazaar when I was 12 years old. And since 2020, these are some of the initiatives that I started in Henna Flair, such as bridal henna services, basic henna workshops, corporate events, as well as selling my own products. Over time, as my business grew, I was featured on Lifestyle Asia as the top 7 henna artists in Singapore, and I was selected to share about how my business thrived during Circuit Breaker by All Day Singapore. I was also privileged to be a panelist for SFX Summit on International Women's Day, which aims to empower women through sharing our experiences as women in business. In summary, here are my key takeaways from NUS. The NOC Paris program, where I had the opportunity to surround myself with driven individuals with a passion for entrepreneurship. Immersing myself in a country with rich culture and diverse people allowed me to discover a new version of myself. Someone who is more independent, adventurous, and has a new perspective about entrepreneurship. Secondly, the Kaya Bukit expedition, where learning about the sustainable lifestyle was a fulfilling learning journey for me. Last but not least, my hall life. It enhanced my skills beyond holistic education. I met so many passionate, ambitious, and inspiring people here, and I'm truly grateful for the past few years that I've spent in Yusof Hall. This is my truth, trust the process. Always embrace the challenges and turn it into opportunities. Explore your new opportunities with NUS CDE, and you will never know what new journeys and experiences will come to you. Thank you, and I hope to see you on campus.
Hello, welcome to the introduction of the Division of Industrial Design here at NUS. My name is Jung-Joo, a Deputy Head of Research at our Division of Industrial Design. Design is a people-centered, problem-solving discipline with creativity. For creativity, we embrace diverse ways of thinking. Please meet our faculty members first, which can introduce our students a diverse ways of thinking. Our fantastic team comes from different cultural backgrounds and has various expertise in different areas of design, including product innovation, social and service transformation, and design features and critical inquiry. These three areas become the focus of our education and research in our Division of Industrial Design. Our students can specialize their expertise in one of these areas or more by choosing relevant courses, projects, or research activities so that after graduation, they can be recognized as an expert in one of these areas. What's special about our program is to offer studio-based design projects in collaboration with the various companies and public organizations so that upon graduation, students can have a very strong portfolio in the areas they want to develop their careers. First of all, for social and service transformation topic, our students work on projects that use design to solve complex social and business problems such as climate change, aging issues, public services, customer experiences, and so on. So for this project, we have collaborated with various organizations such as hospitals, government organizations, banks, Grabs, and different information technology companies in Singapore and also globally. Secondly, for the area of product innovation, our students introduce new types of products and technology development by exercising their creativity and people-centered thinking. And lastly, for design features and critical inquiry, our students work on exploratory projects that use design as an approach to speculate future life and societies. By using design as a way of thinking, students ask important questions for our future scenarios of human lives. These are some of the examples of our students' work. Through these areas, we aim at achieving integrated design, which is people-centered, solution-oriented, collaborative, and transdisciplinary. So our position at College of Design and Engineering offers a great opportunity for us to work with the people from different disciplines and create innovative projects together. Besides the three specializing areas, there are various components in what we do. We offer advanced design programs for master's and PhD degrees in design. We also offer design thinking education as a compulsory course for all NUS students. And we inform designing of emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence or AR through collaborating with other engineering departments. We also offer continuing education and training to working professionals to equip them with necessary design thinking knowledge and skills. In our Division of Industrial Design, there are several centers and research labs and teams that can offer exciting opportunities for students' learning and professional development. First of all, we have Design Incubation Center that helps students take their design project further for implementation and commercialization by providing necessary resources and guidance, infrastructure, and so on and so on. We have various successful cases for commercialization from our students' work from the courses and their thesis projects. And we also have Communication Design Hub that offers visual communication and motion design services and consulting for various functions of university and also external organizations. You might have seen their work in this open day inside and outside buildings in our campus. Individual faculty members are active in both design practice and research, getting international recognition. For example, our associate professor Hans Tan runs Hans Tan Studio and organizes the design research projects on repair and upcycling. Hans recently awarded the President Design Award, which is the most prestigious award in design in Singapore for this project. For research labs under our division, we have Interactive Materials Lab that explore computational design and tangible interaction design using sensors and other technologies and materials and create interesting technology applications. This lab is led by our assistant professor, Dr. Clement Jung. We also have Service Design Lab Singapore that organizes government and industry collaboration projects to improve public services and citizen customer experiences through design projects. This lab is led by Jung-Joo. Our division also participates in Singapore Airline NUS lab that applies design to create new passenger experiences at Singapore Airline aircraft. Our associate professor Patrick Chia is leading our team there. We have active collaborations with various global companies such as Shiseido, IBM, Singapore Airlines, Philips, Samsung, to just name a few. Our students' work is world-class, receiving highly prestigious design awards such as James Dyson and Red Dot Design Awards. Students' work has been successfully commercialized through Kickstarter programs, leading to startup businesses as well. Our faculty members' work and teaching have been also recognized with various awards. Hans Tan has awarded President's Design Award, which is the most prestigious design award in Singapore. We have various faculty members who won NUS Teaching Excellence Award, also Outstanding Educator Award, which is the highest level award in education at NUS. Our faculty members' knowledge is also disseminated by various book publications on various topics, not only for our students, but also for global audience. You have all these exciting opportunities and innovative journey ahead of you. Find out more by visiting our website. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Wina. I'm a final year student in DID. I'm taking a minor in interactive media development. And yeah, so previously I was from JC. I was in the science stream taking physics, chem, math, and econs. And outside of DID, I was involved in Raffles Hall, Muslim Society, SOS, NUS. Yeah, so in this presentation, I'm going to be covering more on my 4 years in DID. Yeah. So to begin with, we all started in fundamentals, where we kind of learn all the basics, know-hows, such as like form finding, as well as softwares like Rhino for CADing and Adobe for Photoshop, or InDesign for making a scrapbook. Yeah. So fundamentals is where everyone is exposed to different basic skills. So it kind of levels up everyone, even those without a design background. So it's particularly useful for me as a science student. It's particularly useful for me to feel like I belong in this course, and it's where I found out that I actually
thrive, and I'm more interested in the interactive side, such as like coding or like doing electronics in design. It's followed by vertical platforms, which is basically a project with a mixture of seniors and juniors from the year 2, year 3, and year 4. And we work together in this platform for one whole semester. I was lucky enough that for all my group projects, they are all very, very good. And like all my seniors were very patient in guiding me and sharing their knowledge with me to push my design further. Yeah, so the community in DID is actually very tight-knit. We are a very small batch. Like we are only around 200 of us for year 1 to year 4. So it's very important for us to have community, and we are all always helping each other. So like throughout the years, studio actually become your home, essentially, where you eat, sleep, repeat. Yeah, so vertical platforms is also useful because you are exposed to working with real-life clients. I was lucky enough to be involved in 2. The first one being a upcycling project with Changi Airport, where we kind of like made a product from their building materials. So I made a home sandal out of the Terminal 2 carpet and the baggage belt. And for my last platform, last semester I did a platform with Dr. JJ for the Sustainable Hospital platform, where we work with Tan Tock Seng Hospital. So what we did during that whole semester was actually interviewing different people, like the nurses, the managers, even the security people, or the cleaners, anyone involved in sorting out the waste in hospital, and see how we can improve the sorting of recyclables. Yeah, so that was what the main gist of my project. Yeah, so it was useful for me because this kind of real-life client projects allowed me to understand how to manage my project timeline, manage the client's expectations, and overall you can see the whole process of ideating until production, because we need to make it work with real-life clients. Yeah, so last year I was lucky enough to be involved in exchange. I was in Paris with my classmate Chinwei. We were in Strat, and we were in the interaction and immersive design, which links to my minor. Yeah, so over there we learn new software such as 3ds Max, as well as Unreal Engine, which come in handy now because I'm doing an AR/VR module right now. Yeah, so for exchange, luckily enough, around 2/3 of us are allowed to go for exchange every year, since we are a very small batch. There were around 10 of us out of 30 which are in Europe, so we were traveling together for that whole semester, and it was really fun. Yeah. So and on to my last year, I'm currently doing my thesis under Prof. Grace Tan, and those are my thesis group. Yeah, so I'm doing a thesis on finding how food waste can be used as a material, and it's currently working towards how can we improve the collection of food waste, and whether or not food waste can actually be turned into something that is not waste. To find out more, you can actually come to our grad show happening in June, and yeah, you can follow us on our Instagram, and yeah, that's all from me. You can scan the QR code to find out more about ID. Yeah, see you!
We hope that the presentations earlier have provided valuable insights into our programs and offerings here at NUS CDE. Now, we're moving into an exciting segment, the panel's question and answers. This is your chance to engage directly with our esteemed panelists and get answers to any burning questions you may have about our programs, curriculum, student life, or anything else related to NUS CDE. So without further ado, let's dive into the Q&A session. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them into the chat box. Our panelists are here and ready to provide you with any information you need. Remember, the more questions you ask, the more you'll get out of this session, so don't be shy. Okay, so let's start with our first question. Are there any opportunities for undergraduate design and architecture students to showcase their work through exhibitions or competitions? So maybe we can direct this question to Clarabelle from Architecture first.
Hi, my name is Clarabelle. I'm in the last year of architecture. So opportunities for undergrad design and architecture students we have. So we have a student-led community. So it's the Architecture Society where we have the archival exhibition team. So basically from year 1 all the way to year 5, we can showcase our work. So maybe the professors will select students from each studio to display their work annually. So we also have exhibitions such as URA exhibition. So it's outside of school where professors collaborate with URA and different industry leaders to actually showcase our work. So I think there's many opportunities for that to happen. And also for competitions wise, we can as students, we engage in different kinds of competition, and then professors can guide us in many ways. So I think that is really useful and insightful as an architecture student. Yeah. So maybe, yeah.
Okay, maybe we can hear from some of the other design programs as well.
Maybe I'll just chime in a bit. For landscape architecture, we also have our grad shows every year. In addition to the grad shows, our individual studios also organize small exhibitions. In terms of competitions, we also participate in competitions such as the NParks Landscape Challenge, Landscape Design Challenge. We hold internal design competitions for that also. So there are many opportunities for students to showcase their work.
I think maybe we can hear from industrial design as well for this aspect.
Yes, for industrial design, there are really ample opportunities for students to participate in the exhibitions, small and large scale, inside and outside campus, and also the competitions. For exhibitions, the big exhibition every year is the grad show, which typically takes place in June. So we organize it in campus or the National Design Center, inviting external stakeholders and experts and the public audience for students to showcase their one-year, final year project work, but also their some selected projects from the semester-long course, from studio-based course called Design Platforms. So that's where students can really present their work to the relevant industry and the government and the design consultancy stakeholders. And there have been many happenings for students to can get a successful job placement through those exhibitions and dialogues with the visitors. And the semester, every semester, after the studio-based project, there is a showcase and the demonstrations. And together with the collaborative partners, there can be also big exhibitions happening again in National Design Center, in the campus, for certain like 1 or 2 week period. And for the competition-wise, our department really encourages and supports students to participate in domestic and also international design competitions. And students submit their work, the outcomes from their studio-based course, and the outcomes have been very, very successful and inspiring. For example, the recent example is one student, Ian Xu, won the International James Dyson Award, which is considered one of the most prestigious awards from his final year thesis project, and many awards from Red Dot, IF. So that's been really the ongoing path that we have been encouraging and we've been walking through.
Okay, so I think we'll move on to our next question. I think this applies maybe more to the students that we have here with us. Do you all have any tips for preparing portfolio? Like, I think for all designs. So maybe you can start off with landscape architecture.
Hi everybody, my name is Atifah. I'm a year 4 landscape architecture student. And some tips to prepare a portfolio, I would strongly suggest that this is the time where you showcase your best work. So for example, if you come from the poly route, This is where you can showcase your works from year 1 up to year 3. And this will give you leverage. Why? Because it can show how you think as a design student. And it shows your experience, be it from your internship or other commitments. And if you're from the JC route, perhaps you could showcase your passion for arts or basic or such as your problem solving skills. And this is very crucial in university because they will be highly useful in your projects, because we are allocated different briefs. For example, we will have to do projects that focuses on infrastructure or water systems. So showing how you can tackle these problems and showing your best strategies can definitely give you leverage as a student. And to showcase, what else to showcase in your portfolio is perhaps your external passions as well. So based on my experience, I was limited to just 5 pages for my portfolio. And this is where I showcased my work through poly as well as my entrepreneurship. So I felt that that gave me a more unique and authentic way to be more memorable for my potential interviewers. So in summary, I would highly suggest for you to show the best works that you've contributed, be it in school or externally, and also to showing your unique identity.
Okay, yeah. Maybe we can hear from industrial design.
For ID, is actually we are very open to a lot of things. So in my batch, a lot of the portfolio ranges from your artworks, from your JC art or your poly works, but things like tinkering with like electronics and building up your own keyboards, that kind of thing, actually is also accepted. The way the things that we are looking out for, I believe, is more on like how open you are to actually improving something with a purpose. Yeah, I think that's.
Yes, that's a wonderful response. And one thing that we want to emphasize is always quality over quantity. So it's not that we want to see a lot of projects, but we want to see good, unique projects that can showcase your unique way of thinking. And we appreciate portfolio that has narratives, that has good storytelling. How you frame the problem, how you approach the problem with your own way of thinking, and how you came up with the solutions by being immersed in that problem context. So that good narrative, if your portfolio can communicate that good narrative, that'll be really a great plus. And we want to see really how the candidate approaches and interprets the certain problem. So if your portfolio can showcase that not just good visualization skills, that will be very engaging portfolio.
Okay, I think we can hear from architecture last.
Okay, so I think for architecture-wise, when creating the portfolio, I think it's really about having your own voice, your own style. Because for architecture, we usually is inspired by our environment, and the way we present our work and express our works is really from the way we think, and it's a very thought-driven process. So I think as you prepare your portfolio, you really have to see how we really want to see how the thought process driven, the iterative process of the whole framing of the narrative is very important. So I think you can also include like other of your hobbies, such as your traveling or the way you express certain like artistic style is very important. Also practical skills and visualization skills is also as important. But most importantly is just present yourself as someone who is very receptive and adaptable to different kind of approaches in terms of your design. I think it's something that is very important when you present your body of works, and also showcasing the maybe 3 most important works that hold close to you in heart, and also issues that speak greatly to you. Yeah. So yeah, because coming from a art school from SOTA, I learned that fine arts as well as architecture is the way you present and the way you express yourself as a designer. It's very important. Yeah. This is what I have. Maybe we can hear from Prof. Yeah.
So I'm Associate Professor Thomas Kong from the Department of Architecture. I just want to echo what Clarabelle mentioned about showing your voice, or sharing who you are as a creative person. So as you know, architecture encompasses many creative fields, right? And we don't want to just look at what you are planning to do or what you want to do in the department itself, but we want to see you as a holistic creative person. So things like photography, craft that you have done, and any other really interesting, perhaps even community-related work. Because at the end of the day, architecture is also a social art, right? So all this will give us an idea of who you are as a creative person, and that will help us to assess your suitability for our department program.
Okay, so I think the next question is also directed at Prof. Thomas. What is the most important thing for international students when applying for architecture in NUS?
The department has a lot of really, really talented international students, and really enjoy working with them. So if you are international students coming to the department, I would think the most important thing is to showcase your culture, right? Where you're from, something that's unique, something that perhaps we can learn from you in your particular culture, whether it's expressed, in this case, through a portfolio, right? Whether it's, if there's an interview, you can begin to talk about some unique characteristics of where you come from and your life experiences as well, growing up in that particular country. I think that will give us a very, very good idea, an opportunity for us to learn and understand about you as well. I think that would be very important, in my opinion.
Okay, so I think we have a question from Fiona Feng for industrial design. So the question is how to prepare for the interview for industrial design. Must you use DT or drawing design, or is it just ideas is enough?
Yeah, thanks for the question. So for the interview, we want to really understand the student as a holistic person. And maybe similar to my answer to portfolio, we also want to see the students' the way of thinking and the student way of approaching the problem, and also their ability to articulate the ideas. So you are asking whether drawing or the idea. Of course, we are interested in the idea. If you are talking about the aptitude test, that they are tasked to come up with new idea to improve the everyday product better. Of course, we are interested in idea that might somehow shows the creative skills and so on, but also we are very keen to hear the process and the thread of thinking process, how the person came to that solution. So whether that the process of thinking is logical, creative, and unique enough, So we are very interested in hearing those stories. So it's not must using the well-known DT design thinking process on the tools, but somehow if your natural way of thinking is in line with what we emphasize in design thinking, like identifying the problem, brainstorming, and the coming up with ideas and testing of it, if your narrative or the process of thinking somehow has a commonality with the design thinking, that would be a good maybe tip to articulate your thinking, the way of solving problem in a systematic and the rational way. But it's not a must to use the vocabularies from design thinking or something. And drawing, there are many means for visualization. So we are not necessarily emphasizing drawing, but if students can have one or two tactics or one or two methods for visualizing or articulating, externalizing their ideas intelligible enough, then that's enough. That's okay. And also, we would appreciate, because there is also one task for students to reflect on the video that they watched. We also want to understand, we also want to hear kind of how the person is able to connect what they, the the stimuli that have been given to them with their personal experiences and social and business problems that we are currently dealing with. So that's the tips from me.
I think since for ID, the interview is actually a video recording of yourself answering a few questions. It's very important. It's very important for you to showcase how you think. So if the way that you showcase how you think is by making something, prototyping it, be it using paper or be it using fabric whatsoever, then do it in that way. So you don't have to actually make it very realistic drawing or CADing, but as long as you're able to show how you think and actually communicate it in a simple manner, I think it's more than good enough. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we'll direct our attention to the next question. This is from Claire. How different will the course program be for poly students, since it will only be 3 years for us as we have 1 year exception? Maybe we can start with architecture.
Okay, thanks for the question, Claire. So yes, polytechnic students are granted exemption in the first year. So how is it different? So poly students who join us in their second year, right? They will be together with the students from JC and IB. And the reason for granting the exemption is really in recognition of what you have done in your 3 years in your polytechnic, right? But the exemption, of course, varies according to the different programs that you have taken within polytechnic as well. Other than that, once you are into our system, so to speak, you'll be still taking the courses that are required for the 4-year program. You will have a chance to do your internship. You'll have a chance to do your student exchange as well, which is a very popular course taken by a lot of students. And of course, you then proceed to the M-Arch, where you will then graduate with a Master of Architecture. So the only difference is that that 1 year that you'll be exempted from taking courses in the curriculum itself.
Okay, maybe we can hear from landscape architecture.
Hi Claire, I'm Terrence. I'm the PD for Landscape Architecture. So I just want to maybe add a little bit of information in terms of the culture for students joining NUS from their second year onwards, right? Especially for Landscape Architecture, we do have a community of students helping out each other. Yeah, and we have a sizable portion of Polytechnic graduates joining us. So if you're interested, you can always approach us directly. You know, we can share a lot more information. But from our own observation, I think the simulation is quite well, right? The year ones coming to year twos hang out with the year two APC students. So I don't think there's any issue. Of course, my student here, Azzah, is from Poly. She came in in year two. Maybe she can share a bit of her own experiences here.
Yeah, so I graduated from Singapore Polytechnic, and I agree with what Prof. Thomas has said. It depends on which polytechnic you graduate from. And as for me, I graduated from landscape architecture, so I was able to map the modules and be exempted for an entire year. And what I missed out during that first year was probably like basic drawings or learning how to utilize software such as like AutoCAD, Photoshop. So these are basic softwares that you typically learn, and you will apply it in your second year. And upon entering my second year, I was pleased to be surrounded by students coming from different perspectives. So there were some who came from full-time jobs, so they have years of experience in landscape architecture, or even some with fresher ideas. They came from JC and they have a different way of looking at projects that they can take on regarding landscape architecture. And adding on to our other curriculums that we take in CDE, we also have the chance to collaborate with engineering students, as we are working towards a more interdisciplinary journey in university. So we have the chance to take on courses that integrates design and engineering together. So I say it has been a very enriching experience collaborating with both design and engineering students.
Okay, unfortunately, it seems we're running out of time for today's live Q&A session. However, fret not. If you have any further questions or would like to delve deeper into our programs, I encourage you to visit our NUS CDE website. There you'll find a wealth of information to satisfy your curiosity. Yeah, we have come to the end for this breakout room. Do check out our other programs happening at breakout room 2 with our Eng, electrical engineering and industrial and systems engineering, as well as mechanical engineering. In breakout room 3, we have civil engineering, electrical engineering, environmental engineering, and infrastructure and project management. And in room 4, we have biomedical engineering, chemical engineering, engineering science, and material science and engineering. Thank you.